Wednesday, my dude.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Punch Up Pod with Lila and Pat. Happy Wednesday. It's been almost a week. What?
It's crazy. We took one show off, but it happened to be one that gave us 6 days between shows.
It
and it's
feels
like,
so
this
weird.
feels
right?
very vacational.
Very, yeah. And thankfully, nothing of consequence has happened in the last 6 days, so we barely have anything to catch up on. Did you have a good Mother's Day?
Yeah, I did. Went over and saw my mom,
Nice.
brought some pastries and stuff and this kind of thing. Yeah. And it's I don't know, did I mention this in the show already? But it's a change from in the past with my family because my brother decided not to come because he was sick, which I'm praising that as a learning experience because like in the past it's been like, oh, yeah, Ryan, my nephew's coming over. Yeah, he had COVID 2 days ago, but he's fine now.
Up and at him.
And I've ripped him a new ass several times, but now he did that on his own.
And did none of his family come or just he?
Yeah, none of them came. It was just me.
Wow. All right.
Still, something.
That is something. That's good. Yeah. Nice.
Now, I was telling you before the show started that I'm in pain right now.
Yeah, tell me what's happening.
But it's a funny pain, but it's pain. I tripped over the goddamn green screen somehow.
Oh.
And not only did I trip over it, it tangled me up to where I couldn't get my arm out for the landing. And
my God.
And then landed on my bag of tools and got poked in every area on my body by some piece of my hammer here.
I'm so sorry, but also that's like an old person fall.
I know, but it was just a fluky tangling in the thing.
It's like a cartoon.
And, I'm just lucky I didn't get actually stabbed by someone.
Yeah, truly.
So I'm actually fine.
I'm sorry. Do you need to drink a little more?
Liquid home medication.
Liquid painkiller. I got you. I got you.
This is our Medicare for all. This is all we got.
That's we're gonna have to make that last. Kimiko, thank you. That is so generous of you, and happy Mother's Day to you too.
Yes, thank you. And I apologize for not getting the obvious layup that it was Mother's Day and I should have been nice to you.
Or at least ask me how my Mother's Day was. I asked you how yours was. I got a 5-minute explanation about your Mother's Day. No, I'm joking. I know you're in pain. It's okay. Thank you, Kimiko. That's super generous. Thank you. It was good. It was just Asher and I hanging out. My husband is in Alabama shooting a movie. My younger son is at college, so Asher got me lots of little gifts. We cooked, we watched shows, and it was really nice. We had a good time. It was a good time.
Nice.
Very low key, but it was really fun. All right, let's get to it. How do we start the show? With a cheers, right? With a cheers.
Yeah, let's go cheers.
Okay, let's go cheers. So this weekend was the BAFTA Awards, and there were 2 awards that were given out that were really fantastic to see the filmmakers up there. The first one was especially satisfying because it was the film that had been financed, the documentary, by the BBC, which is called Gaza, Doctors Under Attack. But then the BBC refused to air it. They did, however, they just allowed Channel 4 to buy it. Channel 4 ended up airing it. But the BAFTA Awards were on the BBC. So they had to air the filmmakers receiving the BAFTA award for the film that they tried to catch and kill, basically. So here is that that acceptance speech.
And the BAFTA goes to Gaza. Doctors under attack.
This award means so much to us. These are the findings of our investigation that the BBC paid for, but refused to show. But we refuse to be silenced and censored. And we thank you. Thank you. And we thank Channel 4 for showing this film.
We also want to dedicate this award to Jabba Badwan and Osama al-Ashi, the two journalists on the ground who made this film for us. So I'd like a round of applause for them, please. Just a question to the BBC. Given that you dropped our film, will you drop us from the BAFTA screening later tonight? Thank you. Bye.
That was pretty good, right?
Love that call out, because he
Yeah.
kind of put it on him like, oh, let's see you do it.
Yeah.
You cowards.
We've seen them do so many crappy things like that. Absolutely.
Fucking absolute shame on a media organization catching and killing a fucking story like this. Like,
Yeah, and you know, sorry, because that's sort of my I mistermed it, because obviously they did
No, it's not
allow
catch and
Channel
kill,
4 to do it, but like, yeah, it's just the pressure that is put on all of these media outlets from within, because they are all staffed with Zionists who like served in the 8200 unit of the IDF, right? And like there have been so many exposés on I can't remember the guy's name at the BBC, but you know, all of the pressure he puts on his journalists and words that you can't say. And of course, we know that happens at the New York Times and the Atlantic and CNN and MS Now and like obviously Fox, whatever. But I don't know how they sleep at night. And I know we have a whole huge segment that we're about to do on Nicholas Kristof in the New York Times, but like, why do you even go in to be a journalist? I guess they don't think about it as journalism, right? They think about it as being part of the empire, being part of the elite ruling class or something.
yeah. I mean, it's probably on an individual basis, but like they're most of them are the elites at this level, at least in the news media, more so than written print, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, they're also like, oh, somebody's got to do it. The media industry's falling, so now I have to play ball, or I'm, you know, right. Our jobs are being cut, and I'd be first to go if I was pro Palestine.
Yeah, it's sort of extraordinary. But then also this was great. This is Federico Escher accepting the award for their show right here.
Journalism is not a crime. Thank you. We are all in massive debt with all the journalists on the ground all around the world that help us do what we do, and we believe deeply in it. We are genuinely and deeply proud of it, and we hope that our work stands proof that independent, brave, ambitious, and crucially well-funded public service television journalism, because it's worth every penny. It is not a luxury. It is not a luxury, it's fundamental. This award belongs to all the journalists around the world, as I said, that work with us to make Channel 4 News what it is. But tonight it belongs especially, again, to every single journalist in Gaza, in Iran, in Lebanon, and all those who risk their life every day just to do their job. Now more than ever, journalism is not optional. It is a necessity. And it must be said loudly and clearly over and over again. Journalism is not a crime. Thank you.
So he is the head of foreign news at Channel 4, and that was for Israel, Iran, the 12-day war. And so BBC knows that that is directed at them. Yeah. Well, cheers to them. I mean, there are people who are out there wanting to expose the secrets of the most powerful people in the world, which is what journalism should be, right? That's the whole point.
And we've said it before, and I'll say it again, that the stories that would have made, your whole career 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago are right out there if you could just put it together in print and get some coverage on it. Yeah. Like, our government is complicit. These media organizations are complicit. And we have no power in this system. And they're largely the reason we don't have power.
These big conglomerate, the big like legacy media. Yeah. Zizu says, am I freezing, Zizu? I know I was kind of doing that before I hopped off and came back on. I don't know why that's happening. I hope it gets better. I'm sorry. Anyway, well, cheers to all of them. Cheers to the people on the ground who are being targeted by Israel. I think there are over 300 journalists who have been killed in Gaza alone. They're doing the same, obviously, in the West Bank. They have killed people who won an Academy Award for helping produce land, no other land, that won an Academy Award. They killed one of the producers in the West Bank. They're targeting journalists in Lebanon. I mean, I don't know. There seems to be no bottom to the evil. But anyway, right. I don't know.
And the really gross part is there's no bottom to the harm they can do to the journalists themselves that the journalists won't even cover.
Yeah, that's
right. Like, these are your people, even. Like, you think that would be the line, but that's not even the line.
No.
Like, nope.
Look at how nobody on CNN or MS Now or anybody in Western media gave any shouts of solidarity to all of their colleagues who were so maligned by Israel. Anything they ever said, it was, oh, Hamas run media, Hamas this, terrorists that. And with their press, and even, look, Shireen Abu Akleh, who was murdered during Joe Biden's regime, and nothing happened. She was Palestinian American citizen. Oh, Israel's going to investigate itself. Then those thugs, just like tried to topple her casket at her funeral. I mean, they're just despicable. Okay, that's my joy for the day. It's going to get better. Please do make sure to like and subscribe. I certainly need much more wine. So let's hope that maybe this will help me out in my endeavor to find some joy. Let's go.
We've added Legos to the wheel.
We did. We heard you.
We're enjoying.
But we're starting.
You can't go wrong with puppets, so let's look at some meerkats.
Ew. Oh my. They are so cute. I love that. Also, I thought you said meerkats. So I was like,
I
I
realized-
didn't even see that.
I realized when I said it exactly. Meerkats, like meerkats, which
Meerkat.
are cats, aren't they? Also meerkat, or are they monkeys?
They're
They're monkeys.
They're the
Or
one.
what's
I
a
don't know.
meerkat?
I know
What's a
them
meerkat?
from The Lion King. Wasn't one of them a meerkat? They look kind of like. I don't think they're cats.
They're
I
not
don't know.
cats. They're like
I have no
a
idea. I'm
thing with
fake
a
news.
tail. I don't know. Somebody help us. Anyway.
Yeah. Okay, as we're talking, I'm trying to delete stuff because as Pat always loves to give me a hard time, and he's right, is I tend to cram way too many graphics into our studio. We are allowed a total of 100. But the 22 that I pulled just for the article of Nicholas Kristof, I'm sure we won't get to all of it, but like there's so many other things to support different parts of it that I wanted to make sure that we get up there that are not. So I'm going to be a little distracted as I keep having to yank and pull up more graphics. But what a week. I mean, first of all, can I just say in the first place, I don't know if everybody knows, but apparently Nicholas Kristof just woke up from a 2.5-year slumber and decided to publish a report, The Silence That Meets the Rape of Palestinians. Male and female Palestinians describe brutal sexual abuse at the hands of Israel's prison guards, soldiers, settlers, and interrogators. First of all, it's in the opinion section, which is bizarre. Just gonna start with that because right away it undermines what's there. Second, there have been so many, speaking of actual journalists, reports on actual rape, not like the rape hoax of October 7th and the mass rape used as a weapon of war lie that was pushed. But electronic intifada, gray zone, Zai Squirrel, like they all debunked the first one, and along with human rights groups on the ground, Euromed Monitor and independent journalists, Drop Site, B'Tselem, there have been so many well-sourced reports about the rape of Palestinian hostages, not just since October of 2023, but decades before. So the fact that he's finally showing up, it's not hilarious.
The difference is that all that evidence is so clear, right? So it's not courageous to just pile on now. Good for him doing it, but it's also a weirdly written article, which we're going to get to, but like the story's been there forever. If you want to get a Pulitzer, you could debunk any narrative out of Israel's mouth.
Yeah.
I mean, if that's so well documented, you could just Google some shit and get a Pulitzer if they'd let you publish it.
Yeah. I mean, the whole thing is, it is so strange that it's only happening now. And then, of course, the pile-on that he has gotten saying that it's blood libel, the biggest revelation. And, here's the other thing is I am in a bubble because I do check in with all of these independent media outlets every day. So I guess if you're somebody who only gets your news from MSNBC and the New York Times, you don't know about the use of rape as a weapon of war by the IDF, like the widespread, decades long. I mean, look at that, that documentary Tantora, that was one of the first segments that we showed when we first started a show 5 years ago now. But that, the documentary of these old men who have been part of the terrorism against this village, Palestinian village of Tantora, laughing about the rapes that they did of Palestinian girls, 14 years old, passing her around like a rag doll.
And I think you are right. I think a lot of them haven't seen the world we've been seeing, or the public has been seeing largely.
Yeah.
By choice, because, it's like they know they have to stick to the narrative at some point, and so they're not going to go read and watch things every day that make them the villains by not
Right.
reporting stuff. So your own self-protection and your ego, and
Right.
it's going to shield you from a lot of this stuff probably, but your lack of curiosity as a journalist is pretty pathetic at best.
I mean, truly. And, you know, just before we get into this article, this is Kristof from December of 2023, fully endorsing the New York Times. I am saying it with heavy sarcasm, reporting about Hamas's rapes, mutilation, and torture of Israeli women and girls underscores what a misogynistic organization it is toward Israeli and Palestinian women alike. Just
taking that article, you know, like they were all aware of the pushback against the article.
Yeah.
Right. So to not have connect the dots between, oh, this person worked for Israel, they didn't have a reporting background, I work at this organization, how did they get that lead story?
Right.
You know,
yes, exactly.
The ego part of that would lead them to understand that this was a fake narrative or suspicious.
2.5 years.
Right.
After that's been written, right? Or December. And all of the people, and we'll get into it. You know, one of the people who's really done such good work online is Zai Squirrel, that account. Like she or he or whoever is like always pulling information and then compiling it all together. So it's just a very clear sort of diagram of all the lies and the rehashed propaganda, and how it's like a circle jerk where it's like, oh, this person says something and then they formed an organization, and then the organization cites what the person from Zaka said, and then like they keep just referring to their 3 or 4 people who have all been shown to be liars. And I am not saying, because we all have to say this, that there isn't a chance that there was sexual harassment, sexual assault, or even rape on the day of October 7th. But that's not the contention. The contention is it was directed by Hamas, it was widespread, and it was used as a weapon of war.
Right. It was a strategic weapon.
Exactly.
Rape was the allegation.
Exactly.
Or even if it wasn't that, it was the primitive nature of those people.
Well, that's
the other
what
piece
they were.
to it.
That they're barbaric, right? That was the whole thing. And we, you know, again, we showed the Frank Luntz polling that he did to show that even more than widespread slaughter, rape resonated more with people to think, oh, those people are barbaric. So this is how we're going to justify the genocide we're about to commit. So that is why they're all complicit. And also, I was thinking that it might be interesting, you know, maybe tomorrow we'll sort of do more of a deep dive into Adam Johnson's new book about how to sell a genocide, is what it's called. And he specifically is targeting these liberal institutions like the New York Times that gave credence to the barbarity that tried to like make Palestinians just not human, barbaric, worthy of being slaughtered. Anyway, so
yeah, and all these journalists should be forced to read his book.
Yeah, truly.
You know?
Yeah, truly. And you know, as you said, like not only does Nicholas Kristof work at the New York Times, but yes, why does somebody who's like made a documentary or whatever she did once get to have this front page, you know, the Screams Without Words or whatever this was. What was it called? Yeah, Screams Without Words. So that should be upsetting to him just on the face of it, just like for somebody who maybe values your career, right?
And they're all competitive for big stories.
Yeah.
And here you are. Where'd this come from? Who is she? What the fuck? I've been working here for 25 years and this gets printed like without sourcing or anything. What do you like?
Insane. And then also it came under such scrutiny between the time that it was released in the New York Times and when The Daily, which is their daily show with Michael Barbaro. No, what's his name? I can't remember. Michael Barbaro? anyway, but that there was so much pushback internally that that they scrapped it. They didn't do their normal podcast version of their big stories on the Daily. So like enough
Right, and
people there knew. Yeah.
Yeah, and if we know there was all that internal turmoil from the reporting,
Yes.
they all were all up in arms picking sides on inside, and you know what side won is what it means.
Right.
And then
So
that became the clear message across the network.
that continues to be talked about. It is still talked about. It's even talked about as if it happened in the very first line of his piece. It's a simple proposition. Whatever our views of the Middle East conflict, we should be able to unite in condemning rape. I can't even imagine writing that sentence, but okay. I'm going to kind of just like push through this quickly because and then stop me at any time. But like, there's a lot of stuff. Most of it has been covered and we have covered it before, again, through Gray Zone, Electronic Intifada, Euromed, all of these independent sources of actual journalism. But he compiles them, and he also did seek out to interview, I think, 14 different people, get their testimonies, look through the evidence that had already been supplied to some of these other human rights organization, and that's how he compiles it. But so, okay. So I'm doing this because this is all of these testimonies are what led to the outcry that this is blood libel. So this is Sami Al-Say, who is a journalist, was taken to a prison cell in 2024. Someone pulled my pants down. They pulled down my boxers. One of the guards pulled out a rubber baton used to beat prisoners. They were trying to force it into my rectum. I was bracing myself to prevent it, but I couldn't. It was so painful. The guards were laughing at him. Then I heard someone say, "Give me the carrots," he recalled, adding that they then used a carrot. It was extremely painful. I was praying for death. Then we've got, he was dumped into his cell. He concluded that the spot where he had been raped had been used before, for he found other people's vomit, blood, and broken teeth crushed into his skin. And after that, he was asked to become an informant for Israeli intelligence. And he refused because he prided himself on his journalistic professionalism. So that's another thing, is this use of rape to diminish any sense of heroicism that Palestinians feel after they are let go from being hostages, because this happens so often to so many Palestinians, especially boys and men, but also women, that there is like a heroic emotion when they are finally released. And the idea that rape is done to blackmail them, to make them feel small, to make them feel like you're not heroes, and to diminish them. This is Issa Amro, a nonviolent activist, sometimes called the Palestinian Gandhi, told me when I previously visited that he had been sexually assaulted by Israeli soldiers and that he believed this was common but underreported because of shame. Now, other journalists who have reported on Issa Amro have said explicitly that he was raped, that he says he was raped. So I'm not sure the sexual assault, but okay. This woman describes being, okay, so this is from the Euromed report. Israeli forces systematically employ rape and sexual torture to humiliate Palestinian female detainees, the Euromed report said. It cited a 42-year-old woman who said she had been shackled naked to a metal table as Israeli soldiers forcibly had sex with her over 2 days while other soldiers filmed the attacks. Afterwards, she said she was shown photos of her being raped and told they would be published if she did not cooperate with Israeli intelligence. Then this is in the middle of the article. So I'm doing this in sequential order of how he writes about this. The Israeli government rejects suggestions that it sexually abuses Palestinians, just as Hamas denied raping Israeli women. Okay.
Yeah, you don't need to do that level of equivocating. And can you speak to 14 of those Israeli women?
Yeah. Speak to one who doesn't say he raped me with his eyes.
I mean, you can't find 14, right? So
no, you can't, not at all. Okay, here is another. One farmer initially agreed to let me use his name in this article, released early this year after months in administrative detention with no charges filed. He related what he said happened one day last year. A half dozen guards immobilized him by holding his arms and legs while pulling down his pants and underwear and inserting a metal baton into his anus. The rapists were laughing and cheering, he said. Several hours later, he fainted and was taken to the prison clinic. After he woke up, he said he was raped once more, again with the metal baton. I was bleeding, he recalled. I broke down completely. I was crying. He asked a guard for pen and paper to write a complaint about the assaults. The request was denied. Then one of the guards, a group of guards, came to the cell. Who's the one who wants to file a complaint? One guard jeered, he said, and another guard pointed him out. The beating started immediately, he recalled, and then they raped him with the baton for a third time that day, he recalled, one saying, now you have even more to put in your complaint. One Palestinian prisoner from Gaza reportedly was hospitalized in July 2024 with a tear in his rectum, cracked ribs, and a punctured lung. Investigators obtained a prison video purportedly showing the abuse. The authorities detained 9 reservist soldiers, but Israel's right-wingers erupted in outrage with a mob of furious protesters, including politicians, breaking into the prison to show support for the guards. Now, here he says, investigators obtained a prison video purportedly showing the abuse.
We covered that a year and a half ago. Right?
Yeah, I mean, that was in the summer of 2024.
Yeah, almost 2 years.
They laughed about it. And they treat those rapists, soldiers, like heroes now. They were greeted like heroes when they were acquitted. It wasn't acquitted. I think the charges were dropped. And the attorney who was trying to prosecute them, not because she's some great soul, but I think probably, it's like you make an example of one and then walk away and like, see, we do investigate our own, because it was caught on tape. I mean, it was internationally shown, right? And that
and when
the dog in it,
the audacity to do that and not go after these people and seeing that they got let free. Think of what permission that gives all these scumbags in the Israeli army to just do whatever.
And he says purportedly.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, because I wanted okay. Okay. That prisoner, that same person, afterward reportedly required a stoma bag to collect his waste. So he no longer was able to go to the bathroom normally. He has a hole in his stomach. That's how badly they damaged his insides. This is a woman who was arrested at the age of 23 after October 2023. And of course, just like all corporate journalists, he just keeps bringing back the Hamas attack, even though you remember he was a UN investigator. I think his name was Josh Paul, who resigned very early into the Biden regime after the genocide started full on. And he said that a decade before, they had been compiling with human rights activists documentation of children being raped by IDF soldiers in these, torture prisons. and he was accused of, and the whole organization was accused of anti-Semitism and blood libel, and so it was just dropped.
Yeah, and clearly the media knows that all this stuff has happened the whole time, but like the people in our military and government all know this stuff is happening. They all know. They get approached by all the pro-Palestinian groups, get shown evidence all the time, even though they try to avoid them. It's put in front of them, religiously by activists. So they can't pretend to not know.
And then it's been going on for such a long time, and then they still spread the lies about Hamas rape on October 7th. The complicity, and I mean, it is grotesque. It's like a level of evil. Okay, we're getting close to the end of this article. Okay, so this woman, she was the 23-year-old. She was repeatedly stripped naked, beaten, and searched by teams of male and female guards alike. The pattern was always the same. Several guards, men and women together, would come to her cell, forcibly strip her naked, handcuff her hands behind her back, and bend her forward at the waist, sometimes forcing her head into the toilet. In this position, she would be beaten and groped all over, she said. They had their hands all over my body. To be honest, I don't know if they raped me, she said, because she sometimes lost consciousness from the beatings. They threatened that if I spoke up, they would rape me, and kill my father. A Gaza journalist shared with me his account of the abuse he suffered after he was detained in 2024. On one occasion, he said, the guards zip-tied his testicles and penis for hours while beating his genitals. For days afterward, he said he urinated blood. On one occasion, he said he was held down, stripped naked, and as he was blindfolded and handcuffed, a dog was summoned. With encouragement from a handler in Hebrew, he said, the dog mounted him. They were using cameras to take photos, and I heard their laughs and giggles, he said. He tried to dislodge the dog, he said, but it penetrated him. Other Palestinian prisoners and human rights monitors have also cited reports of police dogs being coached to rape prisoners. And they were told by Israeli officials, if you want to stay alive when you return, do not speak to the media. And so Nicholas Kristof asks, so why was he willing to speak? There are moments when remembering feels unbearable, he said. My heart felt it might stop while talking to you about it just now. But I remember there are people still in there, so I speak up. Multiple accounts indicate that sexual violence has been directed even at Palestinian children who are typically imprisoned for throwing stones. I located and interviewed 3 boys who had been detained and all described being sexually abused. One, a shy boy in a Hilfiger shirt who was 15 years old at the time of his arrest, declined to say whether he had also witnessed actual rapes, but he said threats were routine. They'd say, do this or we'll put the stick up your butt. Some may wonder whether Palestinians fabricated accusations of sexual assaults to defame Israel. To me, that seems far-fetched because none of those I interviewed sought me out or knew who else I was speaking to, and they were reluctant to speak. Yet there is some evidence that Israel's sexual abuse has become so frequent that norms are changing and Palestinian victims are becoming a bit more willing to speak out. For 6 months, I couldn't speak about it, even to my family, said Mohammed Matar, a Palestinian official who told me that settlers stripped him, beat him, and poked him with a stick in the buttocks while talking about raping him. During the attack, the assailants posted a photograph on social media of him blindfolded and stripped to his underpants. With time, Matar decided to speak out to try to break the stigma. He now keeps a blown-up print of the settler's photo of him on the wall of his office. To try to make sense of what I found, I called up Ehud Olmert, who was prime minister from 2006 to 2009. Do you believe it happens? He asked. Definitely. Or do I believe it happened? Definitely. So we return to the point I noted at the beginning of this column. Supporters of Israel were right in 2023 that whatever our views about the Middle East, we should be able to repudiate rape. Think of it this way. The horrific abuse inflicted on Israeli women on October 7th now happens to Palestinians day after day.
I mean, there's just, I'm trying to understand the logic of putting that in there. Is that the only way you can get it published? Maybe with some of that, I don't know, but it's just so frustrating. Like, okay, we can all agree that all kinds of things are bad. Like arson is bad.
Right.
So, okay, but arson didn't happen on that day, you know?
Right.
So, or is there some proof that happened? Like, I don't, if you're a journalist, you don't need to do that. Stick to the facts,
Yeah.
even in your opinion piece. Like,
and also, you know, the thing to be like, okay, I've got a correlation for you. Try to wrap your mind around this. And then you lie and say people were raped on October 7th. And you know how that makes you feel? So I know they're just Palestinians, but you know how you feel about the Israelis who were lied about and victims as victims of rape? Do you understand how, even though it's a palace, like, I don't even understand having to say it that way, but those are the people that are in such a cult where they cannot believe anything bad about Israelis, even though it's like we have shown clip after clip, and we've even pulled a few again for today, where on Channel 14, Israeli media, they are laughing about the rapes. They're saying, yeah, you have to rape those, but the terrorists, right? Like,
and I just feel like, look, since we know their playbook, they advertise their playbook, promote rape to get an emotional connection. It's more important than anything else to make this emotional connection. So undoing that is very important to break people's thought process,
right.
You know, the dissonance they have of like, no, this isn't adding up. So if you can break them of that, once they realize that day was presented falsely as false justification for all these humans killed, you can get somewhere. Otherwise, you're just like, oh, it's war, it's war, it's war, it's war. Like this side did it, we did it, you know.
Yeah. I think that is it. And I also just think that people who are Zionists have been so conditioned and propagandized to believe that no matter what, Palestinians are terrorists who want them dead. They're as bad as Nazis. That's like driven into them from when they're school-age children, right? Those are the books that are written about Palestinians. And they're always after them. And if you don't kill them first, they're going to kill you. And they are disgusting. They're vermin, the dehumanization, raping them. It's great. Like one of the head rabbis of the IDF signs off on it. Of course, rape. It's good. Punish them more. You have a right to rape. I mean, the riots, right? Like, and he's, you know, he didn't call it a riot, and he didn't talk about some of the more disgusting examples of the sadism that Israelis proudly show on TV and their social media, in the government when they announce what they want to do. Like, I don't know. I guess, I mean, well, he had to soft pedal it a bit on some level because it's the New York Times and he knows his readership.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's probably a piece of it, but still how you phrase that is really important, and knocking down that narrative that justified all this in their minds initially is important.
It's, yeah. I mean, I don't understand having to make some sort of a simile or correlation so that people can understand. Like, so this actually made me sad. And yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Well, you're just bringing people to the point of like, oh, some Israelis are bad too. Right. That's it. That's the only takeaway, is like some Israelis are bad too, kind of like, you know.
Yes. Although, I mean, I guess that's what they're trying to do, which is so crazy because you would say that about any other group, right? Like, look at all the people who are like, wow, our military is disgusting. Look at Abu Ghraib. Look at how we do torture and we've sanctioned it. And W's lawyers have tried to figure out a way. Like, we all said that. I mean, it's kind of like the cop thing, right? Like, you can say, oh, that's a bad teacher who sexually molests her students, right? Or a coach who does that. But if you say anything about a cop, you're like anti all cops, which, by the way, And maybe that's it. Maybe they know it's so pervasive that if you allow one chip, it's all going to fall away.
Right. I mean, and also, you know, I mean, if you look at this guy's history, he's not going to be on our side on this stuff, on anything really. So maybe this is setting the stage to just go after Netanyahu harder. Like, he's why all this was allowed to happen within the government. Now that he's gone, it's all fixed.
That could be. Okay. So David Schuster, who didn't he used to be on MSNBC, like back when it was Lean In or Lean Forward or whatever, like back when it was sort of, back when I was in the cult and I thought
he was MSNBC.
Yeah. So he writes, hearing from longtime friends, New York Times, there are already discussions, including up the masthead, about retracting Nick Kristof's column. Issues with source credibility and lack of evidence. No indications the Kristof sourcing mistakes were deliberate, still problematic. And Kristof replies, sorry, but your tweet is completely untrue. But that was interesting.
Why lob yourself in there?
Yeah.
Why put that out there? I mean, he's a sort of disgraced journalist himself. So someone is throwing him money to do this, right? I would think.
I guess so. I mean, I guess so.
And why wouldn't you? You know, I mean, the article itself should have been retracted and was never retracted. The initial rape apology, you know, the fake rape article, like that should have
absolutely been retracted.
Still be fighting for that.
Exactly. And what's crazy is Israel is also okay. So it all gets so okay. So libel. I'm gonna not be able to find it because there are so many things here. I'm really sorry, but Israel basically put together a new investigation, and they are charging Kristof and the New York Times because, as if like it's such a they're like Hamas supporters. They defend Hamas all the time of putting this Kristof article out in order to suppress the other investigation that Israel commissioned that's just come out also. So here's the other one. Israeli report examined sexual violence during and after Hamas-led attack. A 2-year investigation by a team of researchers in Israel concluded that sexual violence by Hamas and its allies was widespread during and after the October 7th, 2023 attack.
Can we have the evidence? Can we have the evidence?
Here's what's interesting. The person heading up this new group that authored the report is Kochav Elkayem Levy. This woman, and this is where Zai Squirrel does great work, even though this is very small, but this on the left is from the Times of London and completely debunk every piece of evidence that this woman put out there. And they had, she has had to apologize for quite a bit of it, but she is cited repeatedly, as is the man who said that there were beheaded babies and that a pregnant woman had had her baby cut out of her, and also the baby was killed, both of which no beheaded babies, no babies in ovens, and no pregnant woman. And even that man from Mazaka had to retract that and say it was just an emotional day. But these are the people that are in this new report, which is just a regurgitation of all the lies that they had already pushed.
Yeah, and they had 2 years to come up with some evidence to really
but they still did.
farther.
And they still didn't.
Right, and they didn't, and that's why this article wasn't going anywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing to this. So it's bad Hasbro, as the franchise said. Well, no,
I mean,
that's a podcast, but like,
yeah.
But
Truly.
it is bad Hasbro. It's you're bad at your job. Like 2 years, your investigation, no one's going to want to come back with the person that was already debunked. Let half the people know is debunked. And your rape narrative fell apart. And also your other narrative of the babies is garbage. right? So
all garbage. Okay, wait, sorry. This is all right. Yeah, we should probably go and come back because I think we've done a lot of rape talk and maybe we need something a little more interesting. But just as a reminder that in the UN report, which was from I think it was 2024, the mission team, specifically the forensic pathologist and the digital analyst, reviewed over 5,000 photos, around 50 hours, and several audio files of footage of the attacks. In the medical legal assessment of available photos and videos, no tangible indication of rape could be identified. While the mission team reviewed extensive digital material depicting a range of egregious violations, no digital evidence specifically depicting acts of sexual violence was found in open sources. And then this was from Haaretz. Beyond this, from inquiries put to 3 bodies in the defense establishment by Haaretz, it emerges that the intelligence material collected by the police and the intelligence bodies, including footage from terrorist body cameras, does not contain visual documentation of any acts of rape themselves.
And I still remember Joe Biden saying he saw some stuff that somebody showed him on his phone.
Yep.
But okay, so you show an old, delirious man something on a phone, is if that happened, but there's no further proof. We're just trusting the old delusional man that some Israeli propagandist showed him a video on a phone or something, and that's our facts that we can't see. So we kill literally probably 1 million Palestinians are going to die from this war.
Yeah, exactly. And the rape accusations continue to be, it's just like part of the common language about October 7th now. Every politician, Jake Tapper, Dana Bash, anybody in media, they talk about it like it's just a fact, not a single shred of evidence. And that same woman who made up all of her lies, who is the head of this investigation, Elkayem Levy, the commission's archive is closed to the public because of the graphic nature of much of the material and to protect the privacy of victims and their families. So, yeah. I mean,
bullshit.
Yeah. But now he is being accused of blood libel, of course, just as the starving children, that was blood libel. The fact that they were slaughtering children and innocents, blood libel. Like there have been so many blood libels, right? So they're saying, the New York Times published the anti-Zionist dog rape libel. Jewish Chronicle, Israeli rape dog blood libel, how the New York Times has failed U.S. liberal Jews. Times of Israel, blood libel. Israel rejects New York Times column alleging widespread rape of Palestinian inmates. I mean, yeah.
And who's believing any of that other than, some people in Israel a lot of people in Israel are probably believing this still, but they're questioning it, which is why you have these articles come out and say, no, our official case is that didn't happen. The dog rape didn't happen.
Just as a reminder, channel 14.
אתה מבין? הגעת עם נשק, הגעת עם כלב, מי זה הכלב הזה?
הכלב הזה זה ג'אנגו, איתי בכל פעילות, איתי במילואים.
ג'אנגו?
היה בעזה.
כלב גבעות, יש לומר. ככה אמא שלי קוראת לי, אגב, ג'אנגו.
כן, טיפל קצת בנוח'בות בסט תימן, עשה הרבה.
אל תגיד דברים ש... יש סרטון כבר.
בקיצור, אותו מג"ד.
It's hilarious. Dog rape is hilarious. You got Django right there. They're laughing about it. And they brought the rapists from the video that we all saw in the closed circuit, where they're shielding the IDF soldiers who go in, and you see all the movement and the movement between the legs, and you see the dog go in and all of that stuff. We've all seen that. And the men who were charged and then had their charges dropped are now stars.
They literally came out as celebrities. Like, if you were a part of this and you somehow got off, I mean, they're like Kyle Rittenhouses in their country to
exactly.
a white supremacist country.
Yep.
Like, look at these guys. Oh, good for you. Yeah, you got off. Yeah. Good job raping the.
And I mean, I don't even have it here. I don't know where it is, but there, I think 63% of Israelis don't think that there should be any charges for rape. I mean, you know, that's I can't find it here. So
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I mean, but as bad as that is, it does make me think, like, we're not that far off in this country on a lot of numbers, with a lot of people supporting some evil fucking shit.
Yeah.
And with the Israeli program coming in and further being embedded with our government, with the tech bros and this philosophy of, like, you know, even war crimes are fine now. We're not operating on any of these rules anymore. Like, we're becoming them more than anything else is changing in the world.
I think our leaders are. I don't think our people are. And I think that's the difference. I do think that's a difference. We're a smaller country and the propaganda is not sticking.
Yes. Yes, it's not sticking. And the circumstances that allowed them to become who they are now don't exist for us. We have social media. You can't brainwash our youth in this same way. You can't do it. So, but it won't stop them from trying. Like, we are.
Yep.
A lot of the country believes some crazy shit.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, that's true. This is the one I'm just curious. I can't remember. Yeah, this is from 2024. So this is after the video came out of the IDF soldiers raping the man who they raped him so violently that he has a stoma bag now. They cracked his ribs. They punctured his lungs. And after that, they did a poll. 65% of Israeli Jews opposed criminal prosecution for soldiers suspected of raping Palestinian detainees.
Yeah, and that's not even, like, that's just a poll on feels, right? You just know that these guys are sort of convicted of something, and you're like, they shouldn't be convicted. Like, it's not. Well,
you have the head rabbi of the IDF saying, whatever you do to those terrorists, they deserve it. And so, you know, it is a religious ethno state. It did not used to be, it used to be much more secular and non-religious, but now it is really gone very, very right wing. Yeah. And you have the people in power supporting the fact that anything that you do to Palestinians is worth it. They're constantly being compared to Nazis. Oh no, they're worse than Nazis. Then you have some Israeli members of parliament talking about, we need to do what Hitler did and get rid of all of them. Like, comparing himself, like, we can be like Hitler and get rid of all the bad guys. Hitler was getting rid of the Jews. Those were his bad guys. Like, they've been so, their minds have just been molded into this really disgusting level of hatred and violence. It's crazy. Okay.
And molded into that in the face of no real danger or oppression, like most groups that become that evil. Like, you know, it's like, if you become a Palestinian that does something terrible to Israelis because you were in a prison your whole life and your family was raped and murdered, and, you know, there's some understanding of how you got there. Right. But they were just fear-mongered into this shit.
Yeah. And the thing that I think is so, like, most Israelis, if you ask, have you ever met a Palestinian? They haven't. And they think of them, they're so separated and they've been fed such lies. And then the break always happens. Like, you know, there's the Breaking the Silence, which is the organization of ex-IDF soldiers. And what always leads them to their realization of how they were so indoctrinated with this hatred is when they meet Palestinians.
Yeah, 100%.
But, like,
I mean, that's most people with most things in life, but, like, you really have to have the empathy trained out of you hard to not see it sooner. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's like I grew up and it was a very homophobic environment back in the 80s, you know, as
Right.
a high schooler. And, you know, I never thought bad things about people that were gay or anything.
Right.
But until I worked with somebody who was gay every day at my job, it really changed my thinking on it, because I had enough empathy then to go,
Right.
wow, what's your world like?
Right.
For the
Right.
first time, you know? So
Yeah.
it's kind of the same, but like to really beat people down in that, to think somebody's like so lesser than you, it has to be trained into you.
Has
You
to,
know?
and yeah, because it's not like, you know, I remember in 6th grade, a friend of mine spent the night and she was Catholic and she asked me where my horns were and if I had a tail because I was Jewish. So like, but you know, obviously that's not great, but the idea that you like hate a group so much that you want them not only dead but tortured, like, and that you proudly display your crimes against humanity
Right.
on social media because you know that your audience
Yeah.
thinks it's funny and a positive. That's different.
But the weird thing is, like, you know, when you see it in our country towards minorities or whatever, you know, it's scapegoating for why your life
Yeah.
isn't so good,
Yes.
for example,
Yep.
or something. But that
Yep.
that doesn't hit Israelis. Israelis aren't thinking my life would be better because these people are holding me back somehow, because they already
Right.
have no power whatsoever in their government. So it
Right.
has to be just taught into them that
Yeah.
they're just lesser people. They want to kill you, period.
I think
There's a
that's
hunger
the
to kill
thing.
you.
They're all, like the only it's like you need to be scared. Jews are in danger. It's just always Jews are in danger. Jews are in danger. So that's why if you hear something, if you see a keffiyeh, if you see a watermelon, if you see a Palestinian flag, if you hear from the river to the sea, you think that they're thinking it the same way that Netanyahu, for instance, is thinking it, which is we need
Right.
to genocide these people, right? But like that,
It's like our country, 9/11 is going to happen again. 9/11 versus them, the Holocaust is coming
Yeah.
any day now. If we're not vigilant,
everybody
the
wants us
Holocaust is coming.
obliterated. Yeah. And now they're actually like fulfilling that prophecy because, you know, a lot of
Yeah,
us,
now there's
are ready for them to go. Okay, before we get blacked out by Mossad, let me take this off, and then I know we've got some super chats to get to also. So why isn't it coming up here? Add to the stage. There we go. Okay. All right. I definitely need more wine. All right, we got puppets.
the wheel knows we need puppets.
Do we have?
Oh, and look at who visited just in time.
Aw,
Cool.
aw, look at straight.
Let's go with some kittens.
They're cute. Aw, the cutest. Look at that strike. I love it. Let's get to some lovely super chats. Jezen, how bold to say R is okay. It shows the hubris. Yeah. I mean, and also, you know, when they interview, and I mean, I know this happens in our military also. I mean, sorry, but you know, it happens in certain wherever there are men, there's going to be rape. I mean, sorry, like I'm not saying all men are rapists, but like you're in a place where it's the military or the police force or border control or, and in Israel where everybody has to serve, a lot of women in the IDF, accuse their colleagues of rape.
Look, most rape is power.
Yeah.
It's power. It's not anything else. And so when you give people unchecked authority, you're going to see more of that.
Yeah.
By the people that want to do it because they are powerless and have some getting high on the power thing.
Yeah.
So.
Oof. All right. Thank you, Jezen. Thank you. Humanity is so sick of this. It's order out of chaos. Same playbook. They created the chaos and couldn't get public to believe the lies this time. I mean, it really is amazing because I think and maybe I really am just in a bubble because it's repeated so much by everybody in power, everybody in the media that, all the Hamas is terrorists, the Hamas rape and all that kind of stuff. But like, I feel, I guess, very lucky about our community that we all don't get our information from the propagandists. But, and anyway, there was a poll that just came out, like a worldwide poll. Israel is the least popular country, most hated country in the world.
I got to think we're up there soon.
Yeah,
if
I think
we're going to be soon. Yeah.
I think we're right below Iran. But yeah. Thank you, Jezen.
Which, I mean, we're on Iran's side on this war, but Iran is not a country to love as far as the government goes, at least,
Right. Yeah, of course.
To be.
But I'm very grateful for their restraint and caution, right? If they had, what is it called? Like it's a horizontal escalation. If they had actually escalated after every time we or the Israel attacks them,
if Iran was who we pretend they are, the world would be gone already.
Yeah. Yes, right? Exactly. Yep.
They're not. They're so clearly not. They're the adults in the room compared to us.
I agree. By the way, same with Russia. I mean, again, not a government I would want to live under, but showing more restraint than Israel and the US. They really are. Like they have nukes. Thank you, Jezen.
That what you were talking about made me curious though. I'm going to have to ask more libs what they think about.
Oh, you just cut out.
The libs cut me off.
Yeah, I know. They're on it.
No, I want to ask more libs, and I put my parents lovingly in that category, even though they're actually more progressive.
Right.
But they're susceptible to mainstream media. So I want to know what they think about the rape narrative. Just right. I'm going to cold ask them without like bringing it up. Like,
yeah.
Do you think that happened? I just want to know what their mindset is on that.
Yeah, I wonder too. I don't know any libs anymore, so I don't know. I was disowned, but yeah, report on it. Get back to us on that. I would like to know.
Yeah.
Susan Medeo, thank you. Yeah, we are very throttled. I have to think, but thank you so much. Throttling you.
I mean, Jen. Look, I don't care. We aren't doing this for money or anything. We never were. We didn't even have subscriptions or anything forever.
Yeah.
Years, first 2 years or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we went and we were hitting like 700 to 1,000 views all the time. And then overnight they dropped us back to 200 or 300. It's just crazy. Unnatural is the thing. It's just so, and I think it was right around when we started showing the Lego videos. So I don't know if that's what gets us flagged, which now that it's on the wheel is probably not good for our show, but like they're so clearly fucking with progressive leftists.
Oh my God. Yeah. Absolutely. Well, like when we had Leon and, I mean, obviously he's been doing this longer and been making money at it, but like having to cancel some shows because he can't, he can't pay people who are helping him on his team. It is very intentional and it's going to just keep going. I mean, they talk about it, they talk about it openly on both sides of the aisle. We have John Kerry talking about how that pesky First Amendment is getting in our way,
yeah, and I saw in the chat earlier, Gwen mentioned like you have to type in punch up PU before you see punch up pod suggested. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's pretty
crazy.
You know,
and you know, because like we're always sort of toggling back and forth between our accounts. I'm constantly searching for punch up pod through my Lila account so that I can retweet or whatever, right? That should at least be in the top 5. I have to go through 20. Like, that is an account I search for every day. And it's always, yeah.
No, and they literally they'll bring up shows that don't exist anymore before us.
Yeah.
These shows aren't even on the air anymore.
Yep.
Like, they haven't been deleted from YouTube, but they haven't made a live show. You know, there's a punch up acting one and like some other.
It's ridiculous. I know. I don't know what to do. If anybody has some good idea, please shout it out. David, thank you so much for the super chat. Did you see the report about USC in Los Angeles working with the Navy to sponsor IDF medical training on dead American bodies? Yes, that is horrific. It is horrific. And it just is such a violation of people's rights that they think that they are donating their bodies to medical research at USC. I don't know why in my head I thought it was UCLA, but USC. And then it's just shipped off for IDF training while they are conducting a genocide. And also, by the way, we have seen hundreds of Palestinian bodies returned. I mean, hundreds, probably thousands, but to Gaza, where they're stitched up, their organs have been removed. They have the largest skin bank in the world. And
look,
when
that
they
stuff
were
about the organs and skin bank, it's wild. It feels very conspiracy theory, but they are definitely harvesting organs. It is. I do not think it's a conspiracy at all.
I mean, they went to the actual skin bank. The woman brags about it. Not brags, she's like, we're the biggest one. And the reporters say, but how is it Israelis who are donating their skin? And she laughs and says, no, we don't do that. So they are stealing people's organs. It's just vile. And nobody, where are the adults in the room? Like, what's happening? That nobody condemns them. They act like this with complete impunity. And, you know, I think that's the other thing. Like, I heard, and I saw somebody, and sorry, because there were so many things and we have so many graphics that I was trying to like upload and delete. And so I saw somebody write in there, the press, what was it? It was, what was the thing? The press thing. It was a term. It wasn't Pressgate. It was the presser.
Bad Hasbro? No.
Yeah, but it was somebody. Well, all right. I'll find it in a minute. But I just heard Sirota talking on, I think it was The Nation or one of those. And he said something about like, you know, people are so amped up about a country halfway around the world, and we need to think more locally. But, that was, even though I think he's like been like fairly good-ish a little bit on Israel, not great. But like, no, because what they are doing, that is the test bubble. We are all Palestinians to them. What they are doing in Gaza and in the West Bank is going to be brought right back here. It's why our cops train with them. It's why our border patrol trains with them. So like, to say it like that is negating the reality that like they are implementing all of the disgusting human rights violations and crimes against humanity that they carry out there and use as a selling point when they go to their weapons conventions and their AI tech. They're using it on us.
And it's intertwined even beyond just like that's coming here. It's that, okay, you're profiting the businesses going there to do that. They're doing evil stuff to us here. And because of that profit model and getting in with the government, they're getting no bid contracts to do that stuff to us.
Yep.
And if you think any of that's going to be done with any ethics to us, when we watch them fucking get rich off of genocide, you know, you're starting with an immoral company and letting it spread further into our government and getting their grips further into our politicians and becoming too big to fail in a sense because they have enough politicians that they will always be a part of our government from now on.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, they've sort of taken over. They don't want democracy. We didn't vote on any of this. All of these data centers that are stealing all of our water and air and resources they're military sites. I mean, that's really what it is. This is all, this is all for use for military sites. They're all, they are taking over our land. And the impunity with which you can, shoot Renee Good in the face or Alex Petty in the back. And I don't know how many people have now died in ICE custody, and all the young girls who somehow are turning up pregnant. Now they have to separate teenage girls in ICE custody in these migrant detention centers. How are they getting pregnant? Right? So like they are being raped. I mean, we are so far past any consequences for all of this illegal behavior, and nobody is holding anybody to account. It's just insanity.
Well, one more down.
Yeah, voter in. Thank you, David, for your super chat. Citizen Videjo, Matt's wife is a nurse. He played Iran's EMS Lego Tuesday. Must see Iran turned Epstein's top 50 pedophile video into a Lego. Captures the damage pedophiles did. I don't know that one, and I'm not sure which Matt you are talking about, but I will look for that. And thank you for the super chat.
This
Thank
was
you,
good news.
Josie. This is some good news. It absolutely is. Why did it take such a long time? But yes, that is really good news.
I mean, we had U.S. sanctions on a fucking journalist. Economic sanctions on a journalist,
on a lawyer who was working to her job for the International Criminal Court is to hold people to account and expose it. And then, I mean, because that started a year ago, right?
Yeah, it's been a terror on her family.
I mean, I'm actually sort of surprised that we still have any courts that we can count on.
Well, they could still reinstitute it. That's where you have faith in the courts. The higher court will, the farther up the food chain you go, the more fucking evil they are these days. Honestly.
Yeah. Remember when Chuck Schumer in Trump's first regime was like, let's just fast pass all of the federal judges that he's put up for nomination because we all need to get back in August for our vacation.
Yeah.
Cool beans. Thank you, Josie. That's very generous. Thank you.
Some good news.
That is really, really good news. Okay. Oh my God.
And that Chud the racist guy shot himself. So that's
okay. You were just telling me.
I need some more info on the story because Chud the builder is his name. He's the racist guy with the cowboy hat and mushroom. Suddenly he's on the internet everywhere because he runs around dropping the N-word as this test of freedom of speech. And it's like, you're going to get murdered.
Right.
So there was a shooting. It's still not clear. A black guy was involved in it who punched him. It's unclear if he had a weapon himself, but I don't know. Either way, he shot himself a little bit. So that's at least a sliver of joy I can take. So he's at least
love that.
Shot.
We all need that. Shot. I love it. That's good karma, good FAFO. Thank you, 2Fs. Yeah. Capitalism is 100% grape culture. And there used to be, and thank you for your super chat, just like a little bit of decorum around it. And they would couch their imperialism and colonialism and ravaging other countries and stealing their resources as we're spreading democracy. Now we don't even do that. We're just we're shooting people, just assassinating people in the Caribbean. We're talking about taking over Cuba next. Maybe then we'll hit up Turkey.
And we're doing all this while we're also watching our economic divide get bigger and bigger, just massively. And we're all just watching our water go to data centers instead of people. Electricity bills are going up. Water bills are going up. College is $200,000, but your degree is going to get you nothing because there's no job. I saw a statistic. New graduates, so the entry-level jobs that were available that new graduates from college would get since 2020 are down 30%. So that's in 6 years, 20% less of those jobs or 30% less of those jobs exist because they're all hiring AI.
Yep.
And they're just using AI to not have those jobs. And
I mean,
we're just creating nepotism. You're rich, you're going to get richer because you can afford to go to college. No one else is going to gamble on it. So then those people that do graduate from college are going to be way more the elite few.
Yep. And
even the people that graduate from college that start poor, they don't have the connections, so they're not going to get in there to those jobs. And it's just, it's going to exacerbate the economic problems we have massively.
I mean, honestly, I think at this point we are beyond what it was like in the French Revolution, the economic disparity between the haves and the have-nots. We are really at that point. We've got wealth disparity as a share of the GDP. The red line at the very top is the stock market as share of the GDP. So think about the people who actually have money invested in the stock market, and total wages as a share of the GDP is the line that's like leveling out on the x-axis, right? This is inflation. This is from the Kobayashi letter, or however you say it. Energy commodity inflation, almost 30%. Gas, almost 30% up. Airfare, 20% up. Energy, almost 18% up. Electricity, which I'm so dumb that I thought it was energy, but whatever, 6%. I don't know how that's possible. Fruits and vegetables. Oh, I thought I saw something that said groceries were almost 30% up. And hospital services, that actually seems much less than I thought. But okay, this has driven cumulative inflation since 2020 to almost 30%. I mean, I don't think people are getting 30% raises. So how are we supposed to adjust to that?
No, and it's much worse than all those numbers even show.
Yeah.
And they end that statement with since 2020, but those numbers were the increase in the last year, right? So that's the reality of it. You know, CPI is 3.8% a year, which is the consumer price index, and wages have kind of kept up with the CPI, right? They're close, but in all the areas that affect poor people, they're not even close. We're paying the excess and all that stuff. Right.
Yeah.
So
like groceries, I think meat is up like almost 50% at this point, or 30 or 50%, or I guess I said produce, but yeah.
Yeah. But when you're rich, these things are such a small impact on your economy overall, your personal economy, that it's irrelevant to how you get more rich. Like you don't need to change your behavior at all because of the price of groceries.
Yeah. An extra $30, you could that could fall out of your wallet. You would not even notice it when you're rich. Right. So like there's no, it's a regressive tax on poor people, which is why it's like exponential, right? It's like it just keeps getting worse and worse. And if you're in debt and then you owe, like with credit cards, like the more we owe on our credit cards, the
more you rely on your credit cards.
The more you rely on your credit cards, and then the less you have faster because you are also paying interest on all the money that you owe, right? So it's like you can never catch up.
It's punitive.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
That's
and,
I mean, the bigger issue is that we're allowed to say now, the press is, and our country believes GDP is all that matters for how the economy is doing.
Yep.
But we've hit a point where, okay, if the economy is doing great, why are so many people in such a terrible position? And that's not going to change based on your rating of the economy based on GDP, because that money is only going to a few people relative to what it used to do. You know, like my parents are both civil servants, like poor civil servants when I was a kid, and they bought a house with no money and nothing.
Yep.
Like it's
Um,
impossible now.
It is impossible. You can't own, like nobody in the 20s or even 30s now owns a home. I think first time home buyers are now like the median age is 40 or in the 40s. I mean, that's not the American dream on any level.
And they've even changed that equation to where now that's not even what it used to be because of all the expenses and taxes and everything. So it's like it used to be your way out of poverty, and you can get it early in life.
Right.
So you could be
Have some
25,
equity,
you got your home, so now you got choices ahead of you. You paid your house off by the time you're 40, you know, whole different world. And now it's like, I finally got a house. I can barely keep it. Oh shit. Fuck, medical. You know, it's
a whole different economy.
The quality of life is so much worse now.
It's terrible. And I really, you know, I know I talk about this all the time. And thank you, Citizen Madeo. That's who you're talking about, Matt Weinglass and Pasta. Thank you. That was a fun episode of that show where we discussed COVID. Thank you for your super chat. You know, now I can't remember what I was going to say. Not even a drop.
Something.
Dang, that's terrible. My brain, it's terrible. Well, at least we got
then
Trump
you're gonna have
on
to
it.
spin the wheel.
Oh, okay, good. Because then
if you forget.
Nope. I think I like that as a. I definitely need a little more wine, but I like if you forget, you got to spin.
Oh my God, puppets! We do. I mean, we're all cats tonight. Sorry, if cat haters, you're in trouble.
Nobody
cats
hates
and wheels. Cats and wheels.
Oi. Oh my God. That is crazy. I don't know how their backs don't break.
I could have tried to explain it, but I can't. Sorry.
All
I know is Strike's favorite thing to do is to parkour off of me when she gets about. She just whatever she's doing when she gets the zoomies or whatever, she'll just spring off my chest and it's like a wall to her.
And does she climb into you or?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
it's fun.
You're always in pain.
I'm drinking my way out of it.
Yeah, me too. I just baby elephant videos. We got to look for some of those. And I do think even just looking at that, I got a little bit nauseated just because my equilibrium. I used to love all those kind of when I was little, like all those spinny rides, and I cannot do them now. I don't know. Is that age? Probably.
No. The spinny things made me puke when I was younger too. Like the Gravitron, remember at the fair? The thing
but I used to love it. I can't do it now.
No, but you watch those things and like half the groups walk out of it and yak. They're just built, they're yak machines.
Yeah. Absolutely. Okay. Let's the commander-in-chief. This is the guy you want when you are having trouble with your finances.
When you're negotiating with Iran, Mr. President, to what extent are American Not even a little bit. The only thing that matters when I'm talking about Iran, they can't have a nuclear weapon. I don't think about Americans' financial situation. I don't think about anybody. I think about one thing. We cannot let Iran have a nuclear weapon. That's all. That's the only thing that motivates.
So that's the only thing they said. How much is America's economic situation figuring into getting the Strait of Hormuz open again, because you've already destroyed the world? Even if it opened right now, there will be a global depression. He just flew to China with all the tech bros with him. He wasn't even greeted by Xi Jinping, which is kind of funny. Here is somebody else asking him about inflation. He loves being asked about this.
You promised to bring inflation, Mr. President, you promised to bring inflation down. It's now at its highest level in 3 years. Are your policies not working?
No,
What's
my
happening?
policies are working incredibly. If you go back to just before the war, for the last 3 months, inflation was at 1.7%. Now, we had a choice. Let these lunatics have a nuclear weapon. If you want to do that, then you're a stupid person, and you happen to be. I mean, I know you very well. Anybody that wants them to have a nuclear weapon is a stupid person. So we said we're going to take the greatest stock market in history, and we're going to go down a little bit. And actually, that turned out to be incorrect, because our stock market is now at the highest point in history, which frankly surprised a lot of people. It's a very simple message. Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon, and they won't have a nuclear weapon, and that's 100%.
They didn't want one. Now they have one. There's no doubt in my mind. I know that you think they're going to say no. I think whether they eventually, whenever this ends, because at some point, they might say that they're only going to enrich to a certain point, but of course they have to be developing one.
Sure, but also they're going to get rich off the Strait, and Trump is setting himself, he's backed himself into a corner to where, he never talks about the Strait anymore.
Right.
Because they want to reframe it all about nukes, because he's going to give the Strait to them.
Well, it's not his to give, but yes. Yeah.
Yes, but I mean, effectively, well, it's legally not even theirs.
Yeah.
I mean, it's open water,
right?
But they can maintain and get some profit from it.
Yeah.
And that's going to be the outcome of this. I've thought that from the beginning. I still do. They'll give up the nukes.
Yeah.
I don't give up the nukes.
Part I don't think they're going to give up. I don't, because here's the thing. People keep saying, well, but the Strait of Hormuz, that is the deterrent. Well, it's not such a deterrent. We're bombing that. Like, we're still I know we're not bombing them right now, but it's not a deterrent enough that we have completely complied, right? We lost. The whole world knows we lost. It's clear to everybody. He is floundering, but he can't do it because of Israel and all the Zionists, and because he looks like a big loser. But just the economic part of it, I don't think is enough of a deterrent as knowing that they have if we did know that they had a nuclear weapon. Yes,
you're right. But you got to deal with what you got in front of you.
Right.
Their way out of this is not they know they can go back to the Iran nuclear deal they had before,
right,
and live with it. It was fine. And it would be the continuation of what they had before, with pesky asshole Israel and the US aligned to create chaos periodically.
Right.
But if they had a firmer control of the Strait, that would alleviate some of that. Okay, you do this, the reaction from us will be this every time with the Strait. I'm not saying it's a win for them. Nukes would be better for them, but the world will continue to say and agree that they shouldn't have nukes, no matter what we think.
Right.
So that argument is never going to go away to justify any actions of Israel or the U.S.
Yeah, although
I take that off the table.
Right. Well, they are signatories to the nuclear proliferation, and Israel's not. And so I think one thing that will have to happen, which I think is why some Democrats are actually pushing for this, is that there has to be some real transparency on Israel's nukes because nobody trusts Israel at all. Non-Proliferation Act. I'm on my third glass of wine. Can you tell? Sorry. Thanks, the franchise. Also, I just want to say, because I feel like we could just go home now. That's all we needed. That's all we needed. Thank you.
I mean, did you pull that from earlier? Because she's not right about this.
I don't even know. I have no idea.
Must have been way earlier.
I saw it and I was like, no, that's important. I need to stop the conversation. It's super important. Yeah, I just listen. Right now, they are in the driver's seat. So I don't know what's going to happen because the thing is, the reason that those billionaire tech bros talked about how they were what did they say they wanted? Oh my gosh, my brain. Zionists, they're like Zio-states. They didn't call them Zio-states. They called them Zionist states. What did they call their little nation states? Because they called it something Zionism. Because to them, Zionism is the model. Complete impunity, ethnic superiority of the dominant group, not really any sort of, oh wait, I think Zainab is here. What did they call those Zio states? They didn't call it Zio states. Anyway, but like that's the model. Remove ourselves from the big bummer of democracy where anybody gets to weigh in. No rules for us. Now they're flying to China with Trump. They're going to open up everything with China, with trade. Americans will have no protections at all. We're not bringing manufacturing back here. Or are we? I don't know. Nobody knows. There's no plan. But all those guys who were behind him at the inauguration went with him to, not all of them, but like went with him to China. Why? Right?
Yeah, because none of that has to do with us. Like bettering those guys' lives that went with him to China, making them richer, making the stock market fucking blow up. I mean, go off and whatever is more important than anything that happens to us and the price of gas, even the price of anything that affects us. They're just all going to do okay. They're finding a way to do okay, regardless of Trump's idiocy. Both.
I think that's great, but oh my God, I don't know if we'll survive that long. I love Matthew Ho. You know, he's great. It's so funny. He's on Judge Napolitano all the time, and I get his like bi-weekly newsletter. And he actually did. I didn't realize how extensively he had traveled to Palestine even before October 2023 and fought for Palestinian rights. And he was documenting, so many of the human rights reports on rape and abuse of Palestinian hostages. It's just, but he's great. We should definitely have him on again. He's so knowledgeable. And he's such an activist. We
had him on with Anthony last time, right?
Yeah, we had him on with Anthony.
Who just left the Green Party. We got to figure that out a little bit.
We have to have him on to hear what he said there was too much infighting or something, I think. I don't remember exactly what it was.
I just heard about that today, so I don't know enough about it yet. Yeah, but we had Matthew on when he was running in North Carolina. Yeah, as a candidate.
Yeah.
Way before that.
Yeah. He's great. I mean, he's really smart, incredibly well read, and he really, his activism, I think, is really illustrative of how much he cares about humanity. Yeah. I can't figure out what that was, but yes, they all want to get out of here. Trump just spiraling out. I think this was CNN put together a little bit of a montage about how Trump went from, he was going to pay for the ballroom or it was going to be what, 200 million, or then
his friends all paying for it.
And then his friends were, and now basically we're all going to be on the hook for $1 billion ballroom.
And I'm paying for it. I'm paying for it. The country is not. We're donating a $400 million ballroom. Myself and donors are giving them free of charge for nothing. We did this no charge to the taxpayer whatsoever. Rich people and people are putting up the money, zero taxpayer dollars. I think it'll cost $250 million, and it will be, I think, the finest. It's about $300 million, approximately $400 million. I think I'll do it for less, but it's 400. I should do it for less. I will do it for less, but just in case I say 400.
I mean, okay, so now he's asked about it. I mean, it's kind of crazy that nobody has solidarity with their colleagues in these press junkets here.
So what happened is we have a ballroom that's under budget. It's going up right here. I've doubled the size of it because we obviously need that. And we're right now on budget, under budget, and ahead of schedule. I doubled the size of it, you dumb person. It's double the size. You are not a smart person. Right over here. Wait a minute. Right over here. And based on a lot of things that have happened over the last year, we doubled the size of the ballroom. So we're going to have a ballroom that's appropriate for the White House. We doubled the size. The ballroom now is ahead of schedule, and it's a little bit under budget, depending on the finishes that we use.
It's just inconceivable.
The real gaslighting.
Like, yeah, that nobody can put a stop to anything, which then it just brings me back to the system is working as designed. They all want this ballroom on some level. There's been talk about how it's going to be like a massive data center underneath, and it's going to be some fortress, and like, because this is like deranged, and he's just walking through life saying whatever the fuck he wants. He called the White House a shithole. I mean, like, he's just the fact that you can come in and demolish part of the East or all of the East Wing. Bulldozers there. By the way, every time I see bulldozer or caterpillar, all I can think of is Israel and what they like. I just, it's just like wanting to destroy and demolish is just disgusting. But I think that he wouldn't be able to do this if he didn't have bipartisan support from the important bipartisans. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, and all this. It's just wild that we're going to go from this to a Democrat in 2028, and they're going to say, we got to be bipartisan. We can't do anything. It's too outlandish. We just got power back. We don't want to divide the country.
I look forward.
But if you did any of the aggressively illegal things that he did, but for healthcare or something, like, you would have no opposition to it from the people, right? And that's all it would take to get it through anyway, regardless of the legality and the hoops that you would normally jump through and the process and the norms. Like, you do something good, everyone's going to say, holy fuck, we love this guy. Your next presidency is assured. I mean, other than getting assassinated, you're going to definitely win 2 terms if you do something like give everyone health care. I mean, but that's not what we get. We get the same people from our side when we win. We get the guy who says we can't do it.
Yeah,
we just can't do it.
The parliamentarian, the norms, we have to form a committee to do well, and I mean, look what they're doing right now. Or should we spin to Democrats?
Why not?
Why not? I just want to see. This is what I think of when I think of the economy. I don't know what they're talking about. Produce going up 5%, like everything. You know, when I was like
5% is crazy.
That's crazy.
That's bullshit.
Yeah, no way. By the way, like, I don't know what percentage, but an enormous percentage of farmers in the US and of course around the whole world don't have fertilizer. So they missed this whole planting season. So like, whatever we don't have now, whatever you're feeling now, it's only going to get worse when the stuff is supposed to be appearing in the supermarket, right? this is a bit of a crazy price montage, but like truly, I am really noticing, like I don't buy clothes or objects, but like I do love food, and the groceries are, I mean, I would say definitely up about 30 to 40% now. Like I am seeing a tab at Trader Joe's that I never used to get to, even when we were like throwing a party and getting tons of, like, for just Ashley and me, you know.
I'm calling it 30 easily.
Easy, right?
Easily, like not even. And look, they can divide that up because some things are going up minimally, and those are the things that we aren't buying, because those are the excess goods that are like luxury chips or whatever. But your run-of-the-mill milk or eggs or meat, they're all like doubled. So balance that out. Like if I go to Target for groceries, it's twice what it is if I go to a grocery outlet. Like it's just like the difference in where you shop makes a huge difference now as well.
Yeah. And Target used to be, you know, the sort of cheaper place. I know it is really crazy. Here's just a little bit of a montage.
$7 for 10 slices of cheese? I need to get the fuck out of the US.
$75 for 3 steaks. Do you think that's ridiculous? Last week I was here, it was $70 for 3 steaks. Now it's $75.
Because I'm looking for some ground beef for my lasagna and also for my spaghetti. I found the ground beef. Why is it $30?
$5.99 for a regular sized bag of Doritos. Are you freaking kidding me?
I told my nephew go pick out your favorite juice, but
99.10.
nah, nigga, we got water at the crib. I mean, let's go.
This used to be $3 to $4. This is $9.29 for a case of sodas.
Look at this, $3.29 for a regular damn Hershey's bar. You guys are smoking crack.
10 pretzels in there, right? 25 fucking dollars, dude. Go fuck yourself.
I mean, it is crazy. It's crazy.
It is. And you know, gas is going up like a quarter a day here in California. Like it's just, and the gas thing has not even hit. That's just them knowing they can make profits off of the expectation that the gas shortage is going to come. So they're just getting rich before the problem is even here, really. Right. So when it hits, and they're going to love if they have a shortage where they have to fucking have, you know, back in the 70s, like if your license plate ends in an odd number, you can go on Tuesdays to buy gasoline. Like they're going to all get so filthy rich off it, but we're going to hate them. But hating them doesn't change their politics anymore. Like we have no power in the game anymore.
There is no correlation. They do not care. It's crazy. And I know we talk about this all the time, but like, I think there are a couple things. One is climate change is real, and they are all very aware of it, which is why they're building all their bunkers. It's why they want to control the masses, because they know that the thing that they see in Israel, where there's like the dominant group and the out group, and you can destroy the out group as much as you want with complete impunity. And nobody cares as long as like you do some cool tech things and we get, you know, some research out of you or whatever the hell. But like that is the model that Trump and JD Vance and all the people who are like, close the borders and, you know, the Haitians eat your cats and dogs and all that fucked up crap. Well, they've closed all the borders. Our economy still sucks. So now all those migrant centers, as we've been all saying for quite a while now, are for us, because we will all become completely impoverished, and they are criminalizing homelessness. And then they send you, that's the whole plan. And part of that is, so at that point, like, of course there's no democracy. We haven't had democracy in, you know, decades, if ever. Look at, this is one of the reasons I always fight against anybody who's like, oh, we need term limits. I agree with that on like Supreme Court judges or people who aren't voted in democratically. But the term limit on presidency happened because FDR was so popular that he was voted in 4 times. That was a Republican maneuver to go against what people wanted. What we need to do is take money out of politics. But of course, they're never going to do that. That would change the system for them. Right?
Yeah. And look, if you had a good president, let's just bizarre world this, Bernie wins and you have no term limits and he actually stuck to his guns and got successful. Like you would want, like, I want presidents to buy our votes. Buy our fucking votes.
Yeah,
Make my personal economy the barometer for me. How am I doing compared to how I was last year? How are my neighbors doing? Like how many homeless people do we have right now? Like let's make that the top barometer, not, GDP growth. Like, oh, Microsoft made 5% and that's not enough. They're fucking failing over last year.
And that's all we talk about. And that's a huge bubble.
The US is so much worse off as far as a system of government because of our extreme capitalism. Like you take AI, for example, like in China, they don't hate AI like we do, right? They don't, a lot of people don't like it or whatever.
Yeah.
It's, and their surveillance state is extreme in China compared to here, right? But the difference is at least they're getting benefits from all that stuff where it's just going to be punitive to us as workers in the US because of the way our capitalist system is structured. It's just going to make life worse for us. And anything new always harms us more.
100%. And that is the whole plan. This was actually kind of a fun moment, but like I think that's the thing, is like it's always just like these fun moments, but they never actually result in any change. But I think this was University of Central Florida. Oh, I see. I took it down because I was putting up so many of Nicholas Kristof's
you actually
stuff. So I put it down.
Wheel.
Does that mean we need the wheel? Should we just like call it, because we have all these Legos, we should show a Lego. Why don't we do the tariff man, since that was the first economic disaster that Trump sort of forced on everybody, right? Like that was our first bit, or do you want me to actually spin it? Do we need to spin it? I'll spin.
That one's one of those where it's small in the middle. That's the only my issue with that one.
Oh, is it small in the whole middle or just it's on the sides? Is it small? Oh, I didn't crop it. You're totally right. Okay, do another.
Sorry.
No. You're right.
Sorry, okay. I just they ordered you to die for Israel. Let's just do that one.
Okay.
Or no, trumpets. Sorry, calling it.
Trumpets killing for the gold and a bloody miss. Trumpets that in every kid do his target list. Trumpets feeding the war with an iron fist. Trumpets, world's gonna end with a dirty twist. He's checking the stocks while he's checking the score. Inside trading while he's starting a war. Buying the futures of the dead on the floor while the billionaires are begging for more. He sold your taxes for a golden key while he's dancing for BB on a spending spree. $1 billion ballroom for a man so small, built on the bodies and he's standing so tall. 17 billion for the bombs to fall. Your paycheck is gone and he's taking it all. Trumpets killing for the gold and a bloody miss. Trumpets adding every kid to his target list. Trumpets feeding the war with an iron fist. Trumpets, world's gonna end with the dirty twist. Yo, Donnie, you're moving like a puppet on a string, licking the lobby just to beat the king. 90,000 square feet for a dance and a swing, while the mothers in the street don't have anything. You're trading the blood for a ticker on the screen. The dirtiest player that we've ever seen. Gas at 448 and you don't give a damn. Welcome to the gold-plated American scam. Project Freedom is a joke and the strait is closed, while your secret bank account is being exposed. Trumpets killing for the gold in a bloody miss. Trumpets stacking the stash, buying the hill with the lobbyist cash, and selling the nation for a political splash, while the whole world is waiting for the final crash. He's not a leader, he's just a brand in the start, feeding on the poor and still in the front. Your struggle is his profit, your pain is his gain, dancing in the ballroom while we're standing in the rain. Keep twirling poppy on your glass floor, the people are waking up and they're at the door. Yeah. Keep the change, Donnie. Trump is live.
I mean, they're really good. There are a few different ones now that are, there's the Minions ones, and then there are just some cartoon ones, and some of them don't have the same.
No, they don't hit nearly as good.
They don't hit. They don't have the same
right?
lyrics, the same beat, the same educational sort of like truly putting a lot of stuff in. And I mean, I feel so bad because obviously I think all of us are like ferociously against AI, but we are making this small exception for the country we bombed.
This is like a weapon of the little
unprovoked.
guy being used against the evil guy. So yeah, whatever you have to do against the US, I'm for it. Kind of at this point. And by the way, I am currently uploading the tariff video full screen. So
Oh, okay, good. Thank you. Thank you.
we're gonna
I
have
know.
it in a second.
All right.
And I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut it off, but I
No,
know
you're right. No. I told
it's-
Pat, you were right.
there we go.
Frame that. Okay. So let's just do a quick, because this is, oh, people are like, it's awful because of all the gerrymandering, which also I think all gerrymandering is awful. Like, just if you can't win on your message, you do not deserve to win. So that's my feeling. Get money out of politics, have a pure democracy, one person, one vote. Basta, right? But that's not where we are. Democrats are freaking out because of like Virginia was just denied their gerrymandering what's it called on the bill on the voting that they just did. Dude,
The
my
Voting
brain.
Rights Act.
Really bad. Yeah. Well, they just put it up. It was voted on, but then the Supreme Court of Virginia overrode that, and so they could not gerrymander. But Virginians went to the polls, wanted to vote for it. What I think was the procedural issue that the Supreme Court, the reason that the Supreme Court of Virginia gave for overturning it was because, 1 million votes had already been, they have a vote by mail. So the voting had already started.
Yeah,
so people did, ballot initiative. Thank you, Saul. Yeah. Thank you. So, I mean, listen, I do sort of understand that, even though it would have gone the Democrats' way. Like, but then there's and then obviously what happened in Tennessee, where they are basically, gerrymandering out the one district that had Black representative for a Black population, feels outrageous, of course, in a country where we're still living where people are still suffering through a racist system.
Yeah, all the gerrymandering across the board should not exist. There should be national policy set at the top that you must it could change our world overnight if you just changed how districting was set up, because you have these districts, they're basically creating them so that Black people don't ever have a majority to vote anywhere.
Right.
That's the Republican strategy. And this is one issue where I will agree with the efforts to fight back and not say you don't do that if you're Democrats, because we want the system to continue beyond Republicans and Democrats. And you can't let the evil guys just fucking run amok and not fight back.
100%.
Democrats are evil too.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that, but like you,
right?
This is where you have some balls, at least.
Yeah.
I mean,
at least they did it in California. But here's the thing: is like, then, okay, so then what do you do with that power? Like, great, we won gerrymandering stuff here in California. Do we get even more of a supermajority? And what do we get with that? With all the Democrats, supermajority, you know? So like, I really am fed up with this discussion because it feels more like democracy's on the ballot. And it's like, well, okay, great. I mean, I don't give a fuck. Like, look what happens when Democrats are here. We do a genocide. We crush 3 worker strikes. We kick 18 million people off of Medicaid. Like, great. We need more of that countrywide. Like, so, I mean, I agree that obviously Republicans are very focused on their white supremacy and racism, and that is horrific. But I mostly don't want, I mean, I don't want any gerrymandering at all, but I agree with you. Like, you have to fight against it when they're truly just targeting minority groups. But also, what the fuck are you doing with it, Democrats? Nothing. Like, nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
And look, a lot of it will be a wash because in changing the districts, you make some other districts more competitive because that brought some black people into the neighborhood. So it's not as cut and dry as it appears, but I still think fighting back was the right move. Strategically, if I was a consultant, I would say fight back, you know, do the same thing. Don't be, you know, but yeah, it doesn't matter because they don't have our interests at heart at the end of the day anyway. But
it's just be a kinder, gentler genocide and ICE and migrant. I mean, like, I don't know. It's just very,
I mean, you look at look, living in California, it's very clear to us Californians that a whole bunch of Democrats is not the solution.
Right.
Because we've lived through that. We've had Medicare for all in California rejected by majority Democrats who always promise everything. And they have zero obstacles in their way and always find a way to not do the thing.
Yep.
Right. So that's not it. And that's the national policy. We are the policy. Whatever you see the Democrats here do, that's what they would do with the majority in the country. They would find a reason to not give you the thing.
Well, we saw it. We saw it under Obama with the supermajority. We saw it with Biden. You know, the parliamentarian couldn't get us our $15 minimum wage, which isn't even sufficient, and we couldn't get Medicare for all in the like real like crux of the beginnings of COVID and ending public health. I mean, it's like, Democrats. Okay, let's see. Oh yeah. Oh. Sorry. No. Go.
I was just thinking about Fetterman, because they love having a Fetterman. Because the Fetterman keeps the illusion alive. First off, he does what they want because then they don't pass the thing.
Right.
But then it's always like, you're always like, oh, maybe one more Democrat is the fix because that Fetterman guy now. And, before it was
I don't think
the yacht guy, like it's always one or two guys. And you're like, we just
Kristen Sinema and Joe Manchin. It's Joe Lieberman. Remember Joe Lieberman? That's why we couldn't get a public policy or a public option under Obama. It's just
they always keep that illusion alive of just like it's a personality issue with a couple of these people.
Yeah,
it's not a party, thing. Anyway, yes, hail to the tariffs.
Let's see it.
Official video.
He walked into the White House with a tariff and a grin. He said, I'll tax the world, my friends, now let the show begin. He fired up Operation Epic Fury just because he blocked the Strait of Hormuz. That is what vengeance does. Hail to the tariff man. He's taxing all he can. He tariffed China, tariffed France, then bombed all of Iran. Your wallet's getting lighter and your savings getting thin. Hail to the tariff man. Let the madness roll back in. He's got an enemies list, he checks it every morn. He sent pyro to the grand jury, they laughed at him with scorn. Now he's primering Republicans who dared to say him nope. Step right up, step right up. The vengeance tour's got hope. Hail to the tariff man. He's taxing all he can. He tariffed China, tariffed France, then bombed all of Iran. The oil price is doubling and the strait is closed today. Hail to the tariff man. It's gonna be okay. It's not. 4,000 people marching cause they cannot pay the rent. The hospital turned grandma down, her Medicare all spent. His approval's 34%, the lowest of his reign. But he's building golden towers with his Trump sign in the rain. The whole world bought their popcorn, they are watching from the stands. Come on down to America, the show that never ends. Hey! Hail to the tariff man. He's taxing all he can. He tariffed China, tariffed France, and started World War plans. The world is watching, laughing as we spiral down the drain. Hail to the tariff man. Please don't come back again. Hail to the tariff man. Hail to the tariff man. Hail to the tariff man.
I mean, that is so clever and creative, and I'm so glad that you did that one because yes, the one why does anybody shoot anything in vertical? I hate it.
It's such a
Did
pain
you
in the
just
ass.
cut it or did you find one?
No, I downloaded it from YouTube real quick.
Oh,
I have a
that's
thing.
so much
I don't
better.
believe in laws, so I just hacked it.
Oh, we're gonna black out really fast. I love that. It's just so clever and creative. And yes, it's a Broadway tune, and they are so smart. And also, I think that it's really like instructive. Like they actually put a lot of good evidence of what's going on in there, right?
I think it's really important that they made the message that look, all of your suffering isn't even about Iran here.
Yeah.
It's this tariff fucked you guys in the US before Iran got even involved. So you can't even put it on the straight. And all the profits, all the payback from the tariffs that were illegal are getting handed out to all the corporations that ripped us off.
Yep. And the prices
So they're
will
double
never come down.
dipping. They're double fucking dipping while we are paying $8 a stick for deodorant or whatever the fuck it is behind a locked cage at Target so that people don't steal something to make them smell humane.
I am now one of those muttering old ladies when I walk into a store and everything's behind. I just start saying shit out loud and I have to talk louder because I'm wearing my mask. Like, why is this locked up? Why aren't you talking about CEO wage theft? What are we doing? That because I'm so mad that now I have to call somebody.
Yeah.
Like it's ridiculous.
If there's anything under $100 that's locked up, I am not buying it from you, motherfucker.
Yeah.
No. Just no.
Ugh.
So pissed at that shit.
YTDLP. What's that? Is that the way to download it?
YouTube. I might use a different program, but yeah, there are ways to download things when people don't want you to.
Yeah, I use Clip Grab, but it's not always working for that. I've one for each different thing, like an Instagram, a Twitter, what's the other one? TikTok, and then whatever. Thank you, Justin. I really thanks to Fs. I know I love how creative they are. They're really creative. Thank you guys for the super chats. Okay, let's just talk about Democrats because they have tried so hard to destroy Abdul El-Sayed. They thought that they could market Mallory McMorrow as a progressive. And then the facts started coming out, right? Like she wouldn't support what was it? Was it like an AI bill or something? Now I can't remember what that was.
Data centers, maybe, I think.
Yeah, I mean, like she sort of would, but she only wanted to do it if she were when she gets into office. So, like, that's the thing, because they always do this. Like, oh, ladies, do you want abortion care? Yes, like on abortion on demand, anytime I want it. Yes, I do. Do you want the Dream Act? Do you want health care? Like every single thing, we are held hostage when Democrats get in office, and then they never do anything, right? So that's what she was doing.
Or they'll be against the current bill that's like 50% of the things we want, which is like sort of the bare minimum, which is why it has a chance of passing. And they're like, no, I'm voting against that because we need to do more.
Yeah. And
we're going to do more.
We're going to do a study and a committee to figure out how to do it. We're going to put a pin in it and circle back, and it never happens. But then Abdul al-Sayed started rising in the polls, but he started off very low, kind of like Mamdani. Mamdani's, I mean, listen, we have lots of criticisms of Mamdani, but like it's on some levels, he's killing it. Like he just balanced their budget.
He is the most we could probably hope for somebody that gets to that aspirational level of power. Like
for
we're
right
not
now.
going to really get, at some point we want way more. Yes. But like in the system he lives in, doing what he's doing is instructive to governors in every other state that they can buck the party and do this shit.
And so they're scared. So here we have Abdul al-Sayed, who is unapologetically Medicare for all, anti-genocide, abolish ICE, like lots of good stuff, right? Then they tried the smear tactic against Hassan Piker, the Joe Rogan of the left, that Democrats pretended that they wanted, all the disaffected males. By the way, as we all know, Joe Rogan was the Joe Rogan of the left because he endorsed Bernie Sanders in 2020, but whatever.
But he was a little bit down in the polls when all that broke. That's what's hilarious to me.
The Hassan Piker stuff.
Yeah. He was down, and it was like, oh, is it going to work? And I was like, I knew immediately. I'm like, this dude is going to win this hands down. Now you just sealed the deal. It's over, and go on.
Okay. So
I just want Pat's right. I want a Pat's right before we move on.
I know. I feel like that's one of those, like, I told you so. I'm like, were you really the only one?
That's what I want.
Was I
the first guy on YouTube
to
call it? Breaking news.
Breaking news. Pat's right. But so they tried the attacks against Hassan Piker to tar him with like the blood libel kind of bullshit of like, oh, he's a big, we deserve 9/11 and no rapes, or even if rapes happened, it doesn't justify genocide. Like, okay, check. Like, I think, yes, I agree. But whatever. Democratic establishment thought that they were going to end el-Sayed's career by smearing his association with Hassan Piker. Jake Tapper has done more episodes on Hassan Piker than mass rape of Palestinian hostages or war with Iran. Like, that's been his whole focus. Then he broke it. So after all that, Abdul al-Sayed jumped in the polls, or jumped in the, he broke in the top 5 of all Act Blue donations, right? Now they're trying a different thing. This is Doctorgate. So between Daniel Lippman and Adam Wren doing really important journalism here, Michigan Democratic Senate candidate Abdul al-Sayed for years has publicly said he's a physician, but there's overwhelming evidence that he's had no experience as a licensed medical doctor.
Blowing my mind that they're pulling this doctor facade in front of our eyes.
From the people who insisted we called Doctor of Education Jill Biden a doctor.
Right.
Right? Like, fuck all the way off. This guy, and this is in this same piece, there's no doubt that el-Sayed has top-notch medical credentials. He attended the University of Michigan Medical School and ended up receiving his medical degree from Columbia University College of Physicians and Surgeons. He has a doctorate in public health from Oxford University and worked as an assistant professor of epidemiology at Columbia for a year before moving to Detroit to be executive director and health officer of the Detroit Health Department.
I mean, doctorate from Oxford kind of does a lot of heavy lifting in your article, dude.
Okay, and fine, that's a PhD, but like it's not in education, like it's a PhD for real.
Yes, and it's in medicine. It's not even
exactly. In public
it's
health.
not like pretending my master's in art education makes me a master or like
I mean, it's so ridiculous. So, he oh wow, that's crazy. He, poses with his Michigan and Oxford diplomas. But what's interesting is this was majority Dems who one of their, and Lever News did a whole expose on this PAC that has, I wish, David, I wish it were pizza delivery. I'm so hungry. Who, as one of the people leading the PAC is Liz Smith, who was Mayo Pete Buttigieg's campaign advisor. She works for Majority Dems, the super PAC, who also is a consultant who was paid $70,000 this year by Mallory McMorrow's company. So this
wait, I feel like we left out digital blackface. That should be part of her name now too.
Okay, because she posted digital from blackface. Her alt account where she's a Nigerian princess or something.
Like, these are the people instructing us now on not believing his credentials.
Right. So as a reminder, Mayo Pete in 2019 or 2020 during the primaries put out an email to 300 or 400 Black leaders across the nation on a day. I don't know which day it was.
If you don't,
but that morning he wrote it and said, if I don't hear from you by 3:00 today, I will assume that you are endorsing my candidacy to be the Democratic nominee for president of the United States. That was his reach out to the Black
vote. Wildest shit. Right.
It was crazy. He has 0% Black support. In the town where he was mayor, Black people hated him, both for his construction of business, commerce buildings to tear down their homes. And also there was a horrible racism in the police department, and he ended up firing the chief of police, who was Black, who was trying to bring attention to it. Go ahead. Yeah.
Well, no, but he didn't just say that. There were actually media was put out by the team announcing the endorsements of these people, who were a lot of Black activists that fucking hated his guts.
Yeah.
Were listed in this endorsement.
They did not respond by 3.
Right. So that's like me, if I'm hey, Joe Biden, if you don't support socialism, call me by fucking 4:00 or you're a socialist now.
Yeah.
And it's just absurd. His campaign should have ended on that move. But Liz Smith, she's so coked out looking to me. I don't know. I'm drawing the conclusions, but for her to be this guiding light within this organization and pushing this narrative just shows you who she is. We know her history of bullshit, winning at all costs, blatant lies. It doesn't matter. It's a clever lawyering technique to get Black people to pretend Pete has Black support.
Yeah.
And what does it do? It buys you 2 days until there's a backlash.
Okay. 100%. And also the thing that you were saying about the blackface was that she posted from her alt account. No, she thought she had she had an alt account. People thought that was possibly her other account. And she thought she was posting from that and said, as a Black woman, blah, 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 I support Pete Buttigieg. but it was actually, she was posting from her Liz Smith white account. But she was trying to make it seem like he's got black support because look at this black lady posting, and she messed it up. Her whole
you have so much black support that she risks being just an anonymous Twitter account boosting his black support. Like, you can't find like somebody else to even do that tweet for you.
I mean, yeah. Okay, so she is part of this Democratic majority Dems, and it's like a centrist. It's like third way. It's also the bench. It's all the people. It's the abundance crowd, basically, right? They're trying to figure out ways to, forgetting you're not on your burner. Exactly, Saul. So this was so clearly orchestrated, and I know this is really small, but basically all of these establishment Dem accounts are writing the same thing, like, ooh, this isn't good to barbarism critic, is like, someone tell Liz Smith and majority Dems how obvious this is. But they're all quote tweeting this article to say, wow, he's a big liar. He's such a liar with his medical degree and his PhD in public health and his MD. I mean, truly an MD. Like, okay, of being like, in this, it actually says College of Physicians that he got his degree from Columbia. Like, what do you want from him? It's so ridiculous. And it's all just because of this. Michigan Senate Democratic primary, ages 18 to 44, 80%. Okay, by the way, Mallory McMorrow's losing to Haley Stevens in the young crowd is hilarious because Haley Stevens is like a horrific candidate. I mean, she's like a 70-year-old from the 50s in a 40-year-old body, and she's a big Zionist and all that kind of stuff. But the fact that Mallory McMorrow is behind Haley Stevens is hilarious. Oh, hi, Lucky. But like, they're both. I mean, that's not even a poll. Like, they are on the x-axis there, right? So that's why this is happening.
Well, and it's happening because like that 18 to 44 group doesn't rely on CNN and MSNBC and this legacy media narrative. So they're speaking to a small segment of the population that just wants to be told I'm a good person if I vote for the Democrat, and somehow that's not this guy or something. But none of it works. Like, for all that this little gimmick gets them 10 votes, they lose 100 because everyone's knows the game. And this thing is something you could have pulled 40 years ago, 30 years ago, maybe even 20. But now, no, you can't do this. You can't do this.
I mean, it's so obvious. The only thing that does worry me, and I need to look more into, I think obviously he's going to win the Democratic nomination unless they really, do something. And by the way, like, it's just so cruel. Every time I hear him talking, all he's talking about is everybody needs healthcare. Data centers are evil. We all need to be employed and make a thriving wage. We can't have a genocide. Like, what the Democratic Party is the most revolting group of.
Yes.
I
love that they go after him. I love that they go after Hassan for the same reason.
Yeah.
I love it. Like, they are showing their asses in ways that you can't. People aren't watching our podcast to hear the news. So let's hear from the Democrats, and they're going to attack the guy that they're like, why are you?
Yep.
What's radical about wanting healthcare? We know how bad it is. Oh, data centers are good. No, I don't think so. The economy's doing okay. So let's hear from more Democrats. Let these guys talk. Let them run their ads. Let them pretend he's not a doctor.
Can you imagine the same people who were in such a huff that people didn't really want to call Jill Biden a doctor are gonna go through. He's not really, he
Amazing.
hasn't really seen people in an office space where he is their doctor. Just gross.
Yeah.
Really, really, truly gross. So this was the thing I wanted to show. This is, I think this is at University of Central Florida. I am not sure, but the person, well, I'll show after because I don't want to ruin what happens here. This is Gloria Caulfield, who is in the tech world giving a graduation speech at UCF.
The rise of artificial intelligence is the next industrial revolution. Whoa. What happened? Okay, I struck a chord. May I finish? Only a few years ago, AI was not a factor in our lives. Okay. All right. Okay.
It's amazing to me the bubble that she's in and that the administration is in to invite her. So player in the game, the graduation speaker was Gloria Caulfield. She builds AI med tech partnerships for Tavistock's Lake Nona development project. She told, and that, room full of humanities students at UCF, that AI was the next industrial revolution. They keep saying that, and I don't believe it. I actually really think that not only is it a big bubble that's going to destroy all of our lives, but they don't even, honestly, they don't care. They're going to make all the money they need and just skedaddle off to their bunkers.
I think both things are true. It's just where are we in the equation, right? That's what matters to me, because AI is just technology evolving, right? There is a sea shift change that's going to happen because of AI, because it may not be great at it, but it can replace these middling jobs. And
Right.
a lot of jobs can be replaced by it. And they should be, because nobody should be doing these jobs in some ways, right?
Yeah.
But the payoff from it is punitive to us on every level of the game.
Yep.
So we can't let it happen. It can't be inevitable. If it happens, it has to happen in a way that we've preserved at least where we're at in life. We can't have the equation make it worse for all of us, which is what's going to happen. So if technology makes it worse, we don't want that technology.
100%. There are 100%. I mean, listen, we don't make anything here. All the data centers are, employing not anywhere near enough people. The bubble is real, and they want to replace all of us, and there's no new social contract. The only thing that I feel like is going to happen is they're going to do this dumb UBI, and it's going to be a way of deciding that we have to get rid of all of the entitlements. That's going to be the solution. And then we will be pegged to even less money and less ability ever to thrive.
Yeah, no, they at some point they'll just replace UBI with everyone gets a tent and soup, or something.
You can work. We're all just company towns. Just work your way up. Yeah.
And I've said this before, but I'm an electrician, and a data center job, even as an electrician, would be hey, build it, make it. But then it's going to be managed by robots. It's a production thing. You put it up, you build it, and then it's done.
Yeah.
So when they talk about all jobs, it's it's the building people in the building phase, and then there are no jobs, essentially.
Yeah.
Even the electrician could be a robot after the manufacturing part of it. The argument that there are jobs involved with it is just shoot that down from the jump. There are no jobs.
Yeah, there are no jobs.
Zero. Let's just pretend it's zero because effectively in the long run, it's zero.
Yeah. There are no jobs and we don't make anything. And the fact that it's all just tech bros who went with Trump to China. They're not going to take any of the good things from China. They're just going to take the money. And then what's going to happen? Like there's just the fact that they're not even wanting people to come in at an entry level to train to work up in a company, right? Like they're saying, oh, even, like paralegals, all of the, I would love if nobody worked at Amazon. No people had to work at Amazon, peeing in jugs, having 110-degree warehouses because they won't pay for air conditioning for humans, but they'll do it for their robots, actually. Breaking your back because you have to go faster, all of that stuff, but still have a thriving life. Like nobody should have to have such like an awful sort of mindless job unless that's like sort of appealing, like get me out of the house, I had 4 kids, whatever. Like, I don't know, people should do whatever they want, but like, great. Things that are sort of like robotic and mind numbing, if we can replace it. Things that are dangerous, things that could be more precise, like a certain kind of surgery, obviously with a human oversight, but like anything that could actually be improved.
Yeah.
Not to the detriment of people. It should be to enhance it. And there is, there's no desire to enhance any of our lives.
Yes. Technology should open up society's reach for the arts and creativity. It should make that more accessible to everybody. We should all appreciate music more because we have more free time. We should all appreciate the art more. We should all appreciate plays. We should all have time to create something that is enjoyable for people. Like that's why technology should be the end goal of technology.
Yeah.
In the US, it's literally being leveraged to replace creativity.
Yep.
The Hollywood is replacing the piece that we want it. We want it to replace the shit we don't want to do.
Yep.
And we have the opposite paradigm happen. I mean, paradigm's the wrong
absolutely
word,
no, you're right.
It's the opposite happening here. And we're letting it. And every politician, every one of them wants this to happen this way because they're getting rich off of it.
They really are.
And
we're
letting them is what I'm saying. And it isn't on the vote. It's not on the ballot to stop them.
It's not on the ballot to stop them.
It never will be.
I think the thing that we always come back to, like, yes, the protests, yes, the disrupt Capitol, the strikes, all of that, but also things that feel more manageable and immediate is truly to build those parallel systems. Gwen, lots of people are always saying like, grow your own food or get to know people who grow food, get to know your neighbors, there some woman wrote something. I didn't know who she was, but I just loved it. It was this long diatribe about, like all of the technology and entering your password and then having to do a 2-check authorization and then having to change your password. And are you really a human? And and you go through all this stuff. And now you need to join Nextdoor so you can meet the 2 neighbors that we know are right next to you. And it's like, get rid of all that and just go outside and meet your neighbors, right? Like that is the way, because they have built a parallel society. They don't like democracy. And it's easier to do when you are fabulously wealthy. But like the tech bros, the billionaire club, the Epstein class, they've built their parallel society. They are no longer responsive, if they ever were, to the people they are supposed to be, living next to. So we can't do it at that level, but we can still do it actually at a meaningful level. But we have to start because this is all happening way faster. They've been working at this and they are way more class loyal and all of that and have a plan for decades. So it is really important that we get out there and know our communities. I mean, I think that's like one of the most important things we could do.
I agree. And to me, the way to do that is not necessarily go knock on your neighbor's door. It's go join it. It's go join it. Because don't knock on my door. Fuck you.
Don't knock on my door. No.
But go find some people that already think like you a little bit and start there. Join some local thing that helps people somehow.
Yeah. Yeah. It's okay. Somebody's hungry.
Doge dog.
She is. Hi, Lucky. Okay. Oh, wow. It's already. Oh, hi. Do you see her?
Oh, Lucky.
Oh, she's hi. Okay. I'm gonna feed you soon. Okay. We have, and this will probably get us flagged, so forgive us. But Roger Waters has been such an amazing activist for so many causes, but especially Palestine. He just released recently, I think on May 4th or 8th, a new version of Comfortably Numb. My two favorite bands ever are musicians, Prince and Pink Floyd, with Palestinian artist Mona Miari. So he gave this a sneak peek to Yanis Varoufakis, and it is now being screen grabbed by some people who are sharing it. So we'll see what happens, but it's pretty beautiful. And yeah, fair use. Good luck. We love you guys. Thank you. Well, yeah.
Oh, can I just say, I grew up loving Pink Floyd, but I didn't know who Roger Waters was at all.
Right.
And happened to be at an A's game, and the A's Coliseum was next to where it used to be for the Warriors. Anyway, we got out of the A's game and somebody was scalping tickets. My buddy's like, "You want to go see Roger Waters?" I'm like, "Who the fuck is that?"
Right.
Best concert of my fucking life.
Wait, which one was it? Do you know which one it was?
It was his first one with the pigs. I don't know.
Yeah. That's the one I saw, like in 87 or 88, right? 87.
Yeah, the whole concert was this concept that tech had taken over, and the whole concert was run by the tech AI bot, which is crazy. I'm just thinking about this now. But it was like they built it up to where the thing was talking to you between songs, and it was like, I'm deciding to end the world, and then the whole place goes dark. And it was just such a buildup emotionally that actually fits where we're at now. And that was 30 years ago. Fucking crazy, but yeah, 30 years ago or so.
I was a newborn.
40 years ago. It was 40 years ago. Fuck.
I mean, seriously, I was truly in the womb.
I don't know.
All right, we love you guys. We'll be back tomorrow, 6:30. Last words.
Keep punching up. Is that what we got?
Punching up.
Keep punching up.
Keep punching up.
We